What's going on, guys? OG Kush Gaming here, and today I'm going to be telling you guys a story about how I got suspended from school. Alright guys, so I'm just going to get straight into it. We were sitting there in graphics one day, and this kid walks up to me. He's got ADHD, and me and him were just sitting there, talking, because we weren't doing our work, because no point in doing it. And, we were talking about, like, weed and all that shit, and, he mentioned that how his ADHD pills chilled him out, and when he said chilled him out, I thought he meant like when you have weed and you're like chilled out properly. And we were talking about that for a bit, and he's like, I can bring some tomorrow. So this is Thursday. He's like, I'll bring some tomorrow. And I was like, all right. I was like, we'll do it. You'll give them to me after school or before school. No one needs to know. There's no point in going around school and telling everyone, because this kid, a lot of people at the school know him. He goes around, and if he has, say, weed, if he has any sort of drug, he'll go around and tell everyone in the school that he's got it. He does it to almost seem cool, you could say. And like he agreed to like not tell anyone, we'll do it after school. So we're sitting there at first break of like the school. Like, so my school, we got first break, second break, third break. First break's around I think it's like 10:30 to like 10:50. And he walks up to me as I'm getting my food out of my locker, and he walks up and he goes, I've got it. And I was like, yeah, you've got it. Like, I know you've got it. You said you'd bring it. We're gonna, you give it to me after school. And he goes, no, 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 I got to leave early. And I was like, well, we'll do it maybe second break when there's no teachers or anything around. And he's like, no, no, no. And he grabs it out of it. He goes to his locker and grabs it out. And, I didn't know because I went off and sat at the table. And he walks up to me and he's like, I got it with me right now. I was like, no, I'm gonna get it later. And he goes, oh no no no, grab it now, and then just go to the toilet, put it in your pants, and then I was like, oh alright then. So he gives it to me. I walk in the bathroom, stack it, 'cause and then walk off to my locker. And the next period's about to start, so I grab all my books and everything, and I'm walking to my next like my maths class, which is next. And then my pastoral coordinator, which is a person who runs my whole house. So there's like houses in the school, and by houses I mean like color groups. So there's like red house, blue house, and all that. And my pastoral coordinator walks up with um. There's a pastoral coordinator for a different house, but I think he's also in charge of anything with drugs and stuff. And then them two, they say go into this room. So we all three of us walk in the room, and they first he asked me to open up my jumper, pull it off, and like open up all the pockets and everything. So I pull out, open up all the pockets, and then he's like, open your pencil case, open my pencil case, empty out my pencil case. He's like, open your books, so I open my books, and then he's like, so do you have did you like receive a bag from this student? And I was like, no, I didn't. Like, knowing full well that the kid gave me a bag full of ADHD pills, but he had crushed them up. That's like the main point. He had crushed them up, right? So we were talking about it with the pastoral coordinator, and he goes, all right, we're gonna have to check your locker. So we go over to my locker. I unlock my locker. We go through my locker. Nothing there, because it's in my pants. And you know, he's so we go back to his office, and he's like talking about how, like, if we find out you have it and you don't tell us, you're gonna get in more trouble and all this stuff. And then it got to a point where he said, if you have it, just tell me. I'm not gonna tell anyone else. You told me. I was like, all right. And then, because I didn't. I don't really like the second partial coordinator. I prefer to just speak to mine. So I told him, yeah, I've got it. And he's like, okay, can you get it? And I was like, yes, it's just on me right now. I'll get it for you. So I go take it to him, and he goes, do you know what's in this? And I say, well, the student I got it off said it's just his ADHD pills, and he's like, why are they crushed up? And I was like, I'm not sure. You're probably gonna have to go ask him about that. And he's like, oh, all right. I don't think he ever did end up asking the student. So then he's like, you're gonna get suspended. Your parents are gonna pick you up. And I was like, oh, all right. So like, yeah, they ended up picking me up at the end of the day. And because I had been in the office of the school for the whole day, no one knew what happened. So like, I walked out like from his office and went like grabbed my bag and everything, and everyone was freaking out. They're like, "What's going on?" And like just kept talking about that. And then so I got suspended from Friday, like the end of Friday, and then we had to go do an interview on Monday. And so we're sitting there on Monday. It's like it was a 10:30 interview. The interview was with the pastoral coordinator and the school's vice principal. Um, the detention on Saturday goes from like 8 till 12. We go write lines and pick up rubbish and stuff. And then like they're like still talking to me about like what had happened. And then he goes, it could have been ice. Like they were really worried that it was ice or something in the bag. And because they never did ask the student like why he'd crushed him up, and I didn't know why that he crushed him up. But that's how I got suspended from school. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.